G'day legends, I'm here with my Stooge board and I'm going to start getting into some stuff. So I'm going to show you what I've had to acquire to start getting this all up and running.
Welcome back to another episode of Greg Taylor.
Now this is not a simple task. You're going to have to get some bits and pieces, and here's an intro to how it all starts. Now, the first thing is you're going to get this picture. Now this picture is a bit of a description of how the battery configuration goes underneath this box. So I'll put a picture up here so you can actually see a real version. So this is a black and whitey. Obviously black's black and the grey colour is the red. So we've got to make up a bit of some looms and bits and pieces, and to do that, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go out and buy some Velcro hook and loop. This package here is heavy duty. It says it holds 675 grams. So the reason I get this is to actually secure the batteries to the deck. So underneath this, you actually have to put some stuff on the actual deck and then stick the other half of it to the batteries so they stick down. That'll help secure them onto the actual deck itself. Now, the other thing you're going to need is a soldering iron. So I've got mine out of my toolkit here. Soldering iron and some flux core wire or some flux and some soldering wire. From there, you're going to need to get some stuff. Now, all the connectors for when you're doing these sorts of batteries, like those ones, you're going to need some cable. This thing here is 12 gauge, that's for my charging cables. And some 10 gauge cable here, so it's slightly thicker. Numbers go down, wire goes up. That there is 10 gauge, and that is for my my series leads to connect the batteries together. So that's that. Then you're going to need some packs of these. I'll throw this bag down here. Some packs of these. These are XT25 connectors, and what you're going to do is you're going to actually solder them all together on your series leads and also your batteries. Now, getting to the batteries, two things to remember. I bought one of these. This is a D100 Neo, and this will do two batteries at the same time of the type of batteries that you have to get for your Stooge board. Now, I'm sticking to everything that Mo's recommended, so everything he's told me, I'm following his instructions. I have not built too many boards or bits and pieces or dealt with batteries myself. I've had my lipos for my tramper, as you know, in the past. Then I got a new battery made for it. That battery has now failed, so I'll probably use these lipos back in the tramper, so I'll have to do some modifications for that later. But this is a really good small charger. I'll quickly unpackage this so you can see it comes with a lead, instruction manual, great. It's affordable. It wasn't really over the top expensive like some of the big chargers are. And it's a little unit. There it is there. So it's not too big. So potentially with the amount of batteries you need to get, so going back to this drawing here, I can charge 2 batteries at a time with this little unit. So if you get 2 of these, you can obviously charge 4 batteries. If you get 3 of these, you can charge all 6 at the same time. So if you're racing weekend and it's taking you too long to charge, you might want to get a few of these. At the moment, I've just got one because I'm not in a hurry. I'm going to start just play and learn and do as I'm doing. So I'll get that down, I'll pop that down there. And then it brings me to this. Now, on some of the pictures and stuff you've seen of the Stooges, they run different type of batteries. Some people have batteries built for them. Don Juan in the US, Chi Battery Systems have done them for different races. I've gone with what Mo recommended, which is getting into the lipos, and this here, the HBR type. I'll put another picture up here so you can see what I've bought. But if you source batteries, make sure you're finding the right ones and good quality from a reputable supplier, because I'll be honest, some lipos come from some really questionable sources. And if you get them, make sure they're not puffy, because if they're puffy, they may have already been used or they may have been damaged. So again, there's a little instruction manual in there for the lipo. Now, this is the model that I've purchased, the HBR. I'll put it, as I said, I'll put another image up there. I've got 6 of these here, so there is a lot of them, but they'll go across the board with that, locking them in place along the way. And then obviously each battery, there'll be 2 sets of 3, so 3 batteries connected through one loop and 3 batteries connected through the other loop as per the instructions. So there's some work to do to get this up and running, some soldering, some cutting some wires and all the rest of it. Be careful, be safe. Pavel out there has got some excellent videos on working with lipos and so forth. Be safe, because these things, you know, they are a battery and they can go a little bit skewered for haywire. If you're cutting and terminating new things on here, cut one wire at a time. Don't cut both of them, because you'll do a dead short in the battery and the battery will fuse out and catastrophic, right? So 10 gauge wire here. This is Tornado RC. So I had to go to an RC shop to buy this in Australia. There is not many people, J-Car and all the rest of it, probably have this wire, but they didn't have any of those available to me at the time. And they don't usually carry the XT90s and XT60s all the time, so you can check with them. But I went to an RC hobby shop. My local one was excellent and they were brilliant with giving me all the gear. Now, just to give you an idea, I spent about $600 on the 6 lipos. So when I bought a lump of them, they discounted the price by about $100 for the lot. So if you buy more on eBay, you get potentially a bigger discount. So this was about $100 a battery, so that was $600 Australian. So it's not horribly expensive to put the battery packs together, considering what it would cost you to have one built, but you have to do some work. All these connectors and all the rest of it, I'll put the exact numbers of all the list right up here, so you can see how many black and red male females I had to buy and how many I actually needed for the set. I always suggest buy a couple of extra, so when you're doing your first termination, obviously you're going to do all the joining wires first. That's the process. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to lay out all the batteries on here. I'm going to get all the Velcro, put all the Velcro down and get all the Velcro set up so I know how the batteries are going to sit in here. At that point, then I'm going to start looking at the joining leads and work out how the joining leads and how long they have to be, and then I'll go from there and make up the series loops for this, and then we'll start doing the batteries. So the batteries are the last thing I'm going to do, to make sure everything's done and sorted out of the way, and then I'm going to bring one battery at a time in on the table and cut and terminate one battery at a time, keeping everything away. Now when you're keeping lipos, remember, if you've got batteries and lipos in storage, 1 second. If you've got lipos in storage, good thing to do is, and I got these from somewhere a long time ago, lipo battery bags. So again, they're thick, they're a bit cumbersome, reflective in there. These ones have got a vent or a pop off top, so I can access them. These ones were made for a company that I used to work with, so yeah, get yourself some lipo bags for safety. Also with your lipos, charge in the bag if you can. It helps keep you safe when you're charging them, so if anything does go wrong. And hence why I say 1 charger for 2 batteries. Do the 2, put it aside. Do the 2, put it aside. Do the other 2, put it aside. So you're only doing a small amount of batteries at a time. Now the other thing I've got to do is I've got to put a MDS M5 binding setup on the front of this. So there's a few more videos to come. I'll share each video with you as I go, and you can have a look at what I do and how I put all this together over the next few weeks. I'm not in a hurry to do this. This is a work of art, and I don't want to destroy it or make a mess of it. So stick with me, stick with the channel, and see me as my Stooge V6 raceboard comes to life, and I do all the bits and pieces. Anyway, till the next time, stay upright, keep smiling. Craig Taylor out.